GR Tar. GR's over there, the first table in the red shirt. And then we'll do Richie Zacher, who's next right beside him, and then Kirk Crack. And then Julie Richardson over here, and then Sasha Ryder. So we're going to start off with GR.
I can't sit behind the desk over there, so I'll walk around. Anyway, thanks. I'm glad to be here. It's kind of an honor. Last week I got a phone call and said, by the way, you're going to be speaking at this thing, and you don't have a choice. Thanks, Gary. Well, I'll start off just talking a little bit about, diving and free diving and things you can possibly learn tonight. But there's a great line that says, a wise man learns from his own experiences, but a truly wise man learns from the experiences of others. And tonight, hopefully, what we can share with everybody, some of you young guys can be old guys like me and be a free diver one day. So hope it works out. Anyway, first thing I want to talk about is fitness. We have everybody in this room, if you like to free dive or dive or do any kind of an athletic endeavor, it's good to maintain some type of a level of fitness. I jog a couple days a week. I try to go to the gym a couple days a week. By no means am I in fantastic shape from those aspects, but when I go diving, I have the endurance to be able to go all day long. And that's what it's about. A lot of times in free diving, you go out and you're diving and you get really, really tired. And toward the end of the day, that's when bad things will happen. I'm sure that Kirk will be able to expand upon that. But a lot of people, late in the day when their legs are getting tired and they're not in the shape they should be in, they put themselves in situations that they shouldn't be in, and bad things happen. So get in shape. It's good not just for diving, but just for your overall health in general. Seek proper training. I was lucky. I grew up in the School of Hard Knocks, just diving around Tampa Bay and out in the Gulf, and was lucky to survive it. I put myself in a lot of bad situations. But later on, I found out about Kirk's class, and all my friends have all been to it. I'm probably the only person in this room that's a serious diver that hasn't been to Kirk's class. But it's a great thing to do. Once again, you learn from the experiences of others. You learn all the safety things that you should know before you put yourself in a bad situation. So please, seek training. Develop a group. Get a group of other people that you like to dive with. And if you've all been through the class and you all dive together, you all learn together, and you all become stronger together. That's part of the other thing is that, what are you laughing at? We sunk that boat, by the way. You rescued me. But develop a group. Have a strong group of people that's like a support group that you dive with. And these people, will be your life link. Not only will you be there when you're diving as a buddy, somebody will do one person up, one person down. It's always the biggest safety thing in free diving. But it's even better when you're hunting in a group together. You can actually catch more fish that way because you're able to, as a group, to work the schools of fish. Proper equipment. You're going to hear that a lot. If you only buy one thing, buy a watch before you buy a spear gun. Get a good dive watch and learn to use it. It's one of the best things out there. It'll keep you in the safety zone at all times. It's like a scuba diver uses a decompression meter that lets them know when they've been down so long and how much time they have to get to the surface. And the same type of thing happens with a free diver. You'll be down a certain amount of time. When you hit the surface, you want to double that time plus a minute or two. And I think that's something that Kirk can expand upon. But a watch is very, very important. Just going out there and doing it without a watch, you're going to put yourself once again in a situation that you don't want to be in. Weight belts. There's a lot of different types of weight belts out there. A rubber weight belt is to me, the best type of weight belt to use. And the reason that is, can you hear me about this? The reason a rubber weight belt is good to use is that when you have it on, and if you're coming to the surface and you've had a bad dive, it's real easy. You can hold it like this as you're coming to the surface. And if by chance you did black out, what happens? It just falls off. Now your body floats to the surface rather than sinking to the bottom. And that's the nice thing about a rubber weight belt. You can, if you ever, and a lot of times I've had this thing on, and I'm coming up from a really deep dive or been down too long. You just hold it like this. Just unclip it, hold it like that. If you let go of it, you come to the surface. A lot of times divers black out. Bad things, they end up on the bottom and you can't find them. And this way here, at least you'd be on the surface, and your friends could come over and see you and hopefully revive you. Big thing, stay hydrated. When you're out there doing this, drink water throughout the day, Gatorade, whatever. Just keep yourself hydrated throughout the day. That's another thing that seems to be an issue with divers that black out. It's because they're not hydrated, and they put them, once again, they get themselves in a situation they shouldn't be in. eat energy foods. Everybody always laughs at me when I show up on their boat. I have a whole big pack of bananas. You know, everybody says you're not supposed to have bananas on a boat. Well, I never go diving without bananas, so it's been good luck for me. It'll be good luck for you. I think if you eat bananas throughout the day and drink water, you'll keep diving all day. This is a big one. If you're a spear fisherman, I call it hunting vertically. When you're free diving, a lot of free divers, you'll dive down and you'll see a fish across the stage, and you'll try to swim over toward them and shoot them. You're better off to go back to the surface, swim along the surface, and then drop down on top of them, meaning hunt vertically. Don't hunt horizontally. By doing that, it keeps you, once again, keeps you in a safer zone. If you're down at the bottom and you're swimming horizontal, you lose track of time, you lose track of what's going on. Now you still have to make the surface, and you're not able to do that. So I found that when I do these deep dives that I do, I always hunt vertical. If I see a fish, out there, I'll just go back to the surface, swim on the surface where I think he is, and I drop down to be on top of him. This is a big one. It's hard to do. Okay, I call it just let go. And just let go means if you shoot a fish and the fish is pulling, you're in that tug of war with a fish, don't be afraid to let go of that $1,000 spear gun. Just let it go. It's not worth hanging on to. In the past year, I've actually had a couple of times where I've had that death grip, like I call it, on the spear gun, and the fish is pulling, and I couldn't let go because I didn't want to let go, but I finally did and made it to the surface. Funny story about that. I was diving with somebody in the room, Charlie. We were out, and I shot this permit fish, and my shooting line got caught up in the bands, and the reel wouldn't deploy. So I'm down 80 feet down, I'm holding onto this permit, and he's pulling me, and I finally had to let go of it. Well, about 2 months later, I get an email out of the blue, and some guy says, "Did you lose a spear gun out in the Gulf?" And somebody was out there fishing with a hook and line fishing and caught it. And I said, "Well, finders keepers, good on you. That's a good thing." So, but just let go of that spear gun. The spear gun's not worth it. The fish isn't worth it. If you ever get to a thing like that, which goes to a safety thing. A lot of divers have started using reels on their guns. And I myself have been using a reel for the last few years, but I'm almost now to the point where I think you should almost go back and use a float line and not use the reel, just because of the fact that if your line does get caught up in the shooting line and the bands, you can let go and still not lose your gun, because your gun's still connected to the surface. So, I think for safety, I think a float line is definitely the way to go. Big one, learn to relax, save your energy. When that big fish is down there and you're chasing them, the current's running, whatever you want to call it, you tend to find yourself getting all hyped up, and your heart, your pulse rates, speeding up, and you're not able to make a nice relaxed dive. And being relaxed throughout the dive is the key. The less energy that you use going up and down, the safer you're going to be. I like to say, it's a marathon, not a sprint. When you're diving, make a nice, smooth, easy, ascent, and when you're coming back up, once again, always keep it controlled. Don't be the guy that dives down like this and comes back up like that. Those are the guys that usually get in trouble. So be very, very relaxed when you're going up and down, and remember, it's like a marathon runner versus a sprinter. You're going to be out there all day long just doing this up and down, nice and slow. Definition of intelligence. Does anybody know what that is? It's knowing what to do when you don't know what to do. Okay, so hopefully tonight everybody learned something here. Take home a few pointers. Afterwards, feel free to come up and ask me questions. You can ask me questions up here too. But be happy to answer anything I can for you. My goal for being here tonight is just to hopefully save one life, make it something safer for everybody, and let everybody know that there's a lot of fun things you can do when you're safe and fun, having fun. Okay.